We're looking at the fertilizer affordability question. We have 4 charts in this article. The link to that article is in the description below. But I'm going to take a look at 2 articles, 2 graphs that I think are really relevant and really important to producers in the ag industry. This is looking at anhydrous ammonia relative to corn price. And what you can see here is that this ratio has an average of 1.55, but it got as high as 155. It got as high as 250 here in the recent months. Of course, this is on par to where we were back in 2022. We had high commodity prices, but also disruption of activity coming out of the Ukraine. Of course, if you look back in history, the previous high was somewhere above 200. So the context here is that we have a high ratio. It's maybe not as high as historic levels. Now, the other point I want to mention here is that we've been in a period here for producers where this ratio has just been pretty darn high and pretty resilient. We haven't seen many blips below that long-term average. Consider where we were in that 2016 to 2021 period. We spent quite a bit of time below the average. So fertilizer affordability has been an issue in the last few months, but it's also been a pain point for producers over the last handful of years. Now let's take a look at the same data for urea. This is the urea corn price ratio. You can see here we have blown through those 2022 highs around 150. The long run average is 107. We're marching up towards 200. Again, this scenario of pretty high fertilizer prices relative to corn has been a theme, an unfortunate theme for crop producers over the last few years. Of course, I'm David Widmar with Ag Economic Insights. This is the chart of the week. We'll be back in the next week with some more insights. Stay curious.